Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. Very good afternoon to you wherever you are on the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, or right in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, you're highly welcome to this very afternoon edition. It is special because our coach spoke to the press, and I'm impressed by all that he said. Though I have some little questions, I have some questions to ask, but nonetheless, I just want to pinpoint on a few things. Look, one especially from Paul Mason. Paul Mason said something even before the press conference that triggered my memory. Dear friends, Paul Mason is a pundit. I don't usually like him. I don't actually like him because of the way he can be sometimes more critical on Chelsea matters. But he says something that actually made sense in my ear, and I want to bring to your attention. I'm starting from there right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Mason says, I think the one thing that Enzo Maresca needs to learn is that when Chelsea play away from home, Paul Mason says that one thing that Enzo Maresca needs to learn is that when Chelsea play away from home, he should start with Nicolas Jackson. Start with Nicolas Jackson, according to Paul Mason. He said it was a bad mistake playing Christopher Nkunku at Ipswich. Jackson gives you the energy up front in set games and holds the ball up really well. Maresca got that selection horribly wrong, and Chelsea paid the price for it. Dear friend, I brought up this issue up. I didn't want to be the one to say it. This was one of my first observations in our game against Ipswich when I saw the lineup. But I know if I'm to come up to say it, many of you out there will come after me, will say, I didn't want Nkunku to start a game, because many people have been calling for Nkunku starting up games. Now, against Ipswich, Nkunku started a game. We all saw what transpired. I was waiting for someone to say it. That is, I'm happy. And he hit it right there on top. At home, you can play because you have the home support. But away, where you need someone that can put pressure on the opposition, that can press harder, not Christopher Nkunku. Jackson gives you the energy up front in set games and they hold up ball up really well. Not Christopher Nkunku. I don't have enough time. It is your lunch hour. Hot afternoon. Therefore, I'll not waste much of your time. I have so much to talk about. Dear friends, quickly. You see, tomorrow's game against Crystal Palace, like I said, it's still an away game. And don't ever think it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But before we go on, I'll come your way again tomorrow morning before my pre-game analysis or preview. But Maresca had a press conference this afternoon and he pointed out something that broke many Chelsea fans' hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, Enzo Maresca at the press conference said Wesley Fofana could be out for the rest of the season. Wesley Fofana could be out for the rest of the season. And that's Gatton really wanted it to work out for him at Chelsea, dear friend. I really wanted it to work out for Wesley Fofana at Chelsea. But this news is heartbreaking. The entire of last season, Fofana was not in the squad. He was missing out throughout last season. He never kicked a ball last season. This season he came up and we started to see Wesley Fofana. He did not even play to the first half of the season. He did not play to the first half of the season. Our head coach has announced that our center back, Wesley Fofana, is out. This is not about whether he could be out. He is out for the rest of the season. This Fofana injury has actually come at the wrong time, the worst time for this club. Yes. He leaves such a massive gap right now as we speak. Fofana has left a massive gap in this squad as we speak. Destabilizes the defense, and we don't have a similar profile. His departure destabilizing the defense of Chelsea right now. Since he got injured, that was when we started losing games, and unnecessary goals were conceding. Already, even with him at the setup, we were conceding goals. But at least he brought in a bit of balance. We concede, but we scored more. We concede, but we scored. Look at Fulham. For us to play draw at Fulham, for us to lose against Ipswich at home. He listed a massive gap. This destabilizes the defense, and we don't have a similar profile. It is a big worry. You see, but equally, you ideally don't want to sign another center back before seeing Asemeno, a young chap that just came back, and a champion as a center back, Georgia champion. Why am I saying this? We are in a January transfer window. Many will be tempted to say, oh, let's go in and sign another center back. But don't forget, we have Georgia champion who is 18 years. 18. Oh, yes. George Achampo, very promising. He's 18 years. Then we have Asemeno that is just returning from loan, who is 19. What we do? We have a solution in-house, but there is just such a little time to see them, and big risks. It is a big risk to depend on them. If Chelsea really want to be in the top four, it is a very big and huge risk to depend on Asemeno and George Achampo, because they are both, below 20 years of age, no experience. Big decision to make in this January transfer window for our sporting directors. It is a very huge and big decision. Wesley Fofana, my goodness, it's such a wrong time. Such a wrong time. You see, come to think of it, dear friends, this club, Chelsea, I can't think far, because this same club, during the summer, last summer, we left Chalobah at home during pre-season. Chalobah, yes. We left him at home during pre-season. We never even take him along to pre-season. We left him at home during pre-season. Chased him away to train with the development squad. We chased him away to train with the development squad. We barred him from using the first team facility until he agreed to leave. Chelsea barred him from using the first team facilities until he agreed to leave. All to try and cash in on his pure profits. And now, we need a center back, because the ones we kept can't stay fit. All to try to cash in on him for pure profit, dear friends. And now the ones we kept, the center backs we kept, they can't keep fit. They can't stay fit. Chalobah now is gone with Crystal Palace and is doing extremely well. You see, the direction of the club, that is why some of us, initially, we were not certain. Even Enzo Maresca, there are still doubts. Because, Leicester City fans, they told us, Enzo Maresca, some of us will still doubt whether he can still take us to the promised land. Maresca made one substitute versus Brentford. Do you remember? Just one substitute versus Brentford. 2 versus Everton. 2 substitute versus Everton. 1 versus Fulham. Let me tell that again. Enzo Maresca, our head coach, doing a game against Brentford a few weeks back, made just 1 substitution against Brentford, 2 substitutions against Everton, and then 1 versus Fulham. And every one of us got on his back for not using the bench. I am furious in my spirit. Every one of us we were angry for not using the bench because we had Christopher Nkunku on the bench, Joao Felix on the bench. You know, we kept talking about that. Then he turned to the bench and started a few of them against Ipswich. And we produced the worst performance of the season. So maybe he doesn't trust the bench enough to perform in the Premier League. Maybe. And maybe the bench isn't good as we think. But whose fault is it? Is it my fault? The fault of the fans out there? Is it the coach's fault or is it the fault of the sporting directors? Let me hear from you in the comment section. I'm about to run up. Tomorrow is the game against Crystal Palace. I am scared. Hearing the news that Fofana might not be back until the end of the season, I'm scared. Quickly, some shout-outs before I let you go. Scott from Nigeria. First one says, Scott says, hey, my dear friend Scott, it's been a while. Where have you been? Where have you been, Scott, my big brother? Anyway, big shout-out to you. Happy Friday to you as well. And Happy New Year to you also, Scott. Wherever you are, big shout-out. Scott says, there is a lot of difference here. Since the beginning of the season of Pochettino, not the end. You can't judge coaches like that. I'm Scott from Rivers State, Nigeria. Well, the fact remains that Poch came in when we were coming from a crisis era. Poch came in when we ended the season with 12th position on the league table. Is it 12th or 13th on the league table? We came from one of our worst seasons ever. Then he now tried to build a squad up. And so you don't expect him to hit the ground running straight away and start getting results. Now, if he succeeded in our last 19 games to accumulate 38 points, and someone who came in when the squad has been stabilized, with more of a balanced squad, more addition, and in his first 19 games after taking over, scored 35. Dear friend Scott, come again with your analysis. Big shout out to you anyway. It is your opinion, and we move on. All right, the next one says, no need to hurry, man. Both two, otherwise they will get injured again. Yeah, talking about Reece James, our captain, coming back, and Romeo Lavia. No need to hurry up to bring them to the squad. No problem. I agree with you. But hey, we are losing points. Now that Fofana is still not back and he's not going to be back soon, well, we wait to see. The last one but not the least is the full page. So listen carefully. Coming from Odunayo Oyo. Odunayo says, good morning, Mr. Sello. My name is Odunayo Oyo from Lagos, Nigeria. Finally, comment and read. My friend Odunayo from Lagos, Nigeria says, finally comment and read. Thank you, Mr. Selon Blog. I concur with you on Poch and Maresca comparison. Chelsea had a nasty and unrepentant injuries last season, which made Poch to use what he had in his disposal. If he had gotten what Maresca has this season, he would have succeeded in Chelsea. Remember, he started getting results when most of his players came back from injuries at the later part of the season, and Chelsea finished strongly at the end. I heard a rumor that Chelsea are looking in the direction of Fikayo Tomori of AC Milan. In fact, I'll be elated if it is true and the deal materialized in the end. He is an upgrade on all the central defenders. Chelsea have right now. Onayo, that is why I love you. I like you so much. You see, you're always on point. You just as my mind is, that is what you have just spoken. Pochettino came in when? What transpired? And now, coming to Fikayo, I purposely didn't talk about it because it was not, I didn't have solid information on it. That is why I didn't speak much about it. But I am happy you spoke about the comparison between Maresca and Pochettino. Guys, it is lunch hour. I'll see you all in the next one when you see me. Big shout out to you guys all out there. Happy weekend. I'll see you guys when you see me. Shalom and peace.